Costa Rica, officially known as the Republic of Costa Rica, is a small country in Central America. With a population of almost 5 million and a land area of 51 square kilometers, it has been known for its stable democracy and focus on sustainability. By abolishing the army, President Oscar Arias Sanchez won the Nobel Peace Prize. The country has consistently performed well in human development, environmental performance, and was identified as the greenest country in the world in year 2009. With 98.1% of its electricity being generated from green sources in 2016 and aiming to become a carbon-neutral country by 2021, this documentary aims to discover how this small nation achieved such progressive environmental policies. Costa Rica's agriculture is widely spread all over the country and plays an essential part in the gross domestic product, employing almost 13% of the labor force. The country's main crops are bananas, pineapples, and coffee. Being the third cash crop export in 2006, coffee production played a key role in Costa Rica's history. Coffee cultivation has also gained widespread attention for its essential role in supporting local and global biodiversity, while the coffee itself is well known for its quality worldwide. There are many different techniques to harvest coffee, and ensuring this process is sustainable can be challenging, as traditional methods consume substantial amounts of energy, water, and land, which can have a significant negative impact on native tropical biodiversity. A farm that tackled this issue successfully is Doka Coffee Estate, a family-owned company created in the early 19th century, which has been declared historical heritage.
Besides the $2 that the people get, they get free housing, electricity, water for free, and also in the fields we take care of the environment because we don't produce any garbage. Everything is reused, like the shells and stuff. It goes back to the same fields for the compost, which is great. So we don't pollute the rivers. We have some problems with fungus, and the climate that changes constantly. So we have to be changing the methods or the techniques that we use. But we do our best so we can get so we can get the employees happy and also to get a good harvest. We do it naturally, we do it the whole thing from the seed to the cup, and we use the drying method naturally on the patios. So most of the people, they dry them mechanical. So that speeds up the process a little bit, but that also changes the flavor.
While other economies in Central America have struggled, Costa Rica has succeeded in positioning itself as the tropical world's environmental showcase, consistently investing in development. Affirming that consumers are educated and have started acting is the growing Costa Rican organic movement, aided by tax on water pollution, which penalizes businesses and homeowners that dump sewage, agricultural chemicals, and other pollutants into waterways. A model of organic farming was created by the family who maintains the Don Juan farm. With a big variety of fruit and vegetables, the farm is self-sufficient in most of their consumption.
So this is the deal with this place. We're working every day. We have two men working in this place. They are kind of the ones taking care of this garden. So sometimes when we have time, we're going to help them to work a little bit up there. We are using compost, which is we're gonna as you already saw there, we're gonna make compost with worms, and then we have another way to make it. We're using microorganisms. We're going to the forest. We're gonna start digging in those dead leaves layers. We're gonna bring them to this place. We're gonna use soil. We're gonna use we're gonna use semolina, molasses. We're gonna mix it every day. After 9 days, it's ready to be there. So we are going to help them to do the same. We're gonna prepare the compost, and when they are preparing the beds, they are using compost there. They're gonna mix it with it, and in that way, the soil is really rich, and it's really important. And in that way, we have production all year long. So if we don't have corn today, we're gonna have it tomorrow. So So today we're gonna have lettuce, we're gonna have tomatoes, then we have bananas. What else? We have cucumber, we have papayas, we have pineapples, we have pepper, we have a lot down here. It's a great place because I love to do this activity. I love to talk to people every day. I am making friends every day, which is really, really nice. And then I'm learning too, because if they know something that I don't, I love to tell them, please teach me a little bit, which is good. We have, in some cases, some people kind of coming from some other places around the world, and they are kind of learning what we're doing here, and they are trying to do the same in their countries.
Costa Rica was the first country in Central America which developed an industry around bananas, the fruit being cultivated since 1878. The industry quickly entered a period of rapid growth, and to this day, the nation is one of the top producers of bananas in the world. Despite its restrained size, between 2002 and 2006, Costa Rica was the planet's second largest producer of the fruit, being responsible for 13% of all banana exports around the world. An unexpected player in this market is represented by Earth University, which offers undergraduate programs in agricultural sciences and natural resource management. With an impressive campus of just over 33 square kilometers, the university not only presents the classical infrastructures of a teaching center, but it also comprises a banana plantation, a protected rainforest reserve, and several farms, where they harvest the majority of the food consumed on campus. At Earth University, students have the opportunity to learn theoretical concepts and then apply them practically right away. The classrooms and the outdoor area of the campus are connected to each other, providing an integrated approach to agriculture and sustainability. Moreover, the banana plantation contained on the university's land offers hands-on learning experience to students. This banana production facility is a reference for sustainable practices in Costa Rica and exports its product to Whole Foods Market in the United States. To maintain its high education standards and invest in research, the university receives donations from all over the world. The vast majority of donors come from outside of Costa Rica. Unilever, Coca-Cola, and Procter & Gamble are some of the enterprises that believed in Earth's core values and have already funded programs or donated money to the institution. The specialized faculty staff encourages students to learn and make changes after completing the course in their own countries, spreading Earth's message and its desire to develop and improve sustainable agriculture practices all over the world.
We contribute to the sustainability of Costa Rica in many aspects. The first one is through the education program we have. So because of the education, we can change the way people think. And also because we have a very practical education. That means that the students get in the class the theoretical aspect, but they have the possibility to come to these areas where they can see in practice what we say in class. So we have a big compromise with the environmental action goal of the United Nations as Earth, and also we want our students to replicate that experience in their countries when they go back. Our students, they work in the agricultural sector, most of them. This is a very broad sector, since you can work in different crops, banana, pineapple, livestock, etc., coffee. Also, they can be leaders of change that not necessarily have to be in the agricultural area as well. So they can be leaders in a rural area, in a region. So they can work in the area of natural resources, natural resource management. They can be managers of private enterprises, hopefully in the agricultural sector. Mm-hmm. So I think they have a wide possibility to get employment in different things. We get more than 5,000 students with the idea and the enthusiasm to come to Earth. But at the end, we have to select 120 students. Earth University started when Central America was in a very political problem, social problem, the war that was taking place in Nicaragua, Ecuador, Guatemala at that time. So the university started to change to change the environment in Central America mainly at that time, so that instead of being military countries, being educated countries in terms of agricultural development. So instead of people going, young people with guns, we prefer to have young people with pencil and with books.
As the most visited country in Central America and a pioneer in ecotourism, Costa Rica sheds light on how nature and tourism are intrinsically related. From fantastic rainforests to sustainable farms, people have the opportunity to experience something unique and different. Tourism is the fastest growing economic sector in the country, with ecotourism playing a vital role in Costa Rica's development. This activity aids the conservation of biodiversity and the development of local communities. The certification of sustainable tourism, CST for short, is one of the first certification of its kind. It categorizes standards accredited companies according to the degree in which their operations comply with the criteria. The certification demonstrates how proactive Costa Rica has been in terms of sustainability.
The initiative for sustainable tourism was always there without knowing, because definitely we saw that nature had to be cared for. In the beginning, it was only nature. So care for our rivers, our beaches, our forests. But then little by little, we saw that there was no point on caring for this river or for that forest if I am not telling people why it is important to care for this forest or this beach or our species. So education was a very important element in sustainability. So education was added, and then after you add education, you can tell people many things about the benefits of taking care of the forest and the rivers, but what if they are hungry? You know, then they're going to, if they have to damage some part of nature because they have a family to feed, like I was telling you, the tree cutting problem in the country, then we needed to do that, something that was going to help people in the rural communities especially to have a way to have a better quality of life. So tourism and the community tourism or rural tourism was a good way to do it. And sustainability has been that. It is contained in the word sustain. How do we sustain ourselves? How do we sustain our environment? And how do we sustain our culture as well? Because if we want tourists to visit Costa Rica, we want them to come and have a true experience, an authentic experience. So if we lose identity, then we are not that attractive anymore. So why would you want to come all over from Europe to visit Costa Rica if what you're listening to is the same music, dancing the same way, eating the same foods? We need to keep the values of our identity and our authenticity as well. The main activities, the more fun ones, are full of energy and adrenaline charged. And I would say that the favorite ones are zip lining and whitewater rafting and trekking and anything that has to do in the water as well. Like besides whitewater rafting, you can go kayaking, you can go tubing, you can just swim and have the experience of being in waters that are warm waters in our Pacific Ocean and also in the Caribbean, and seeing nature, enjoying nature. We have learned that tourists now are charged of anxiety and they are tense. You know, there is a lot of stress, just the stress that we live in our lives day by day, and then we have to get in time to the airport, and 3 hours waiting in the airport, then pulling things and going through security and all that. So when we get to or when tourists come to our destination, they need to disconnect. And we have learned that by just seeing nature, seeing green mountains, rivers that are calm, people starts to disconnect and really having a renewal in their system and enjoying their vacation. And that's what we take vacation for. We want you to come and visit Costa Rica and enjoy it and go through all the renewal process that we were talking about, but that you take from here a learning experience as well. And that is that it's important to care for our home.
Having been awarded the certification of sustainable tourism, La Tirimbina Rainforest Lodge is an educational and scientific nonprofit organization. One of the main attractions in this protected area, hiking, is the perfect option to experience the richness of Costa Rica's biodiversity. Its mission of preserving nature and dedication to be a self-sufficient, harmonious, and solid conservation model with local, national, and international impact underlines the extraordinary experience this destination offers its visitors.
This is an eco-lodge which doesn't exist online, right? It's a completely different category. And so when people are looking on internet for hotels, they think about amenities like TVs, like big pool and everything. And so when they come here and they don't find that, they think that our hotel is not good, but they don't think about the conservation we are doing. They don't think about how we're working with the community. And that's a big challenge, like making people understanding that when they come here, they're really helping the conservation of the forest and the community. The main goal of the organization, of course, is to protect the forest for future generations. Then we have a research department and environmental education program department, which work with the community. And so I'll say that's a big step forward, teaching the new generations like how important it is to preserve these forests for them. And also there is a certification of sustainable tourism in Costa Rica, which we participate. They come in to evaluate what we are doing, all the operations. And so we are on the maximum category, which are these are not stars, these are leaves. We have 5 leaves out of 5. So it's really good. Together we're thinking of what we do. We have a biodigester. So pretty much all the sewage water produced by the hotel is transformed into gas that we use for cooking at the kitchen, where we heat our water with solar panels. And well, we have a lot of things like this. I have to say first that my father is a researcher, and I started walking on the forest since I was a very, very little kid. So for me, the rainforest is my house. I see it like that way. And why not? You want your house to be clean, you want your house to be protected, and that's what all that matters, right? For me, without rainforest, it's not living. And I have many job opportunities out of here with even a bigger payment, and I will never leave this place. While I have a job here in Sarapiquí, I will stay just because of the forest.
Costa Rica has risen to become a world leader in renewable energy, being ranked among the top renewable electricity users in the world. In the year 2016, Costa Rica ran on 100% renewable energy for 76 straight days using a mix of hydro, geothermal, wind, and solar power. Even in 1989, Costa Rica used 99.05% of energy produced by renewable sources. This was made possible by the country's geographic advantage, having high concentrations per capita of rivers, dams, and volcanoes. Costa Rica is also the 4th highest nation in terms of rainfall per capita. The elimination of the military in 1948 aided the development of these sources, freeing millions of dollars from the government's budget, which are now invested in healthcare, education, and environmental protection. To further prove the nation's commitment to renewables and the environment, the government has decided not to exploit rich oil deposits discovered along the country's Caribbean coast. Despite having developed this diverse arsenal of renewable electricity, Costa Rica continues to aim higher and has announced that one of its goals is to be the first carbon-neutral country in the world by 2021. Amongst other incentives, Costa Rica will impose a sea-neutral tax which will certify that industrial practices are offsetting their carbon emissions. The money will fund conservation, reforestation, and research.
Costa Rica has been, since about 3 decades, a world leader in production of renewable energies, mainly hydroelectricity. So hydroelectricity is about 3/4 of the total amount of energy. It is important to say that the hydroelectrical power began at the end of the 19th century and has been increasing, especially by the state electricity companies producing the most of these in large plants. One of them is Reventazón, is the largest hydroelectrical dam in Central America. And there are 5 large and many other small ones. The wind power has been increasing in the last times, especially by the intervention of private companies that they have an agreement with the state to produce no more than 15% of the total production. So there are some restrictions and they have to sell a certain amount to the state for distribution, not only for private use. Geothermal, there are 2 plants mainly at the base of Miravalles volcano and also Rincón de la Vieja volcano, producing something like 12% of the energy. There is more potential to produce in other volcanic areas geothermal electricity, but the problem is that most of these potential areas are under protection, natural protection. That's a matter of education that has been changing in the last times. In Costa Rica, I think most of the people is not aware of that we are leaders in this sense of renewable energy, but there, little by little, is changing. So the children in schools, they have educated, and the idea is that use the children at homes to educate the old people about these things, because the old people they don't know. I think the prices of the instruments are decreasing now in the market, in the world market, but the problem is how to replace the instrument without producing lots of garbage.
Do you have a sentence that defines your own country? Or maybe your way of life? Or express how you are feeling right now? Imagine one short sentence that can articulate the positive feelings you and your culture share. For Costa Ricans, also called ticos, the sentence is pura vida. Pura vida, which translates to pure life, means everything for the people of Costa Rica. Instead of saying you're welcome or hello, they say pura vida. Ask them how they are doing, and you will certainly hear pura vida. This small sentence that has such various meanings carries a special and emotional connotation for ticos. They are proud of pura vida and what pura vida represents to them, and its unique versatility is at the core of Costa Rica's hospitality and receptiveness to tourists. Warmth and smiles followed by pura vida are found everywhere. Pura vida is also intrinsically connected with the remarkable nature. Maintaining it, protecting it, and appreciating it are also the things that the simple sentence pura vida stands for.
Pura vida is the way I live. I'm happy in Costa Rica. I'm happy. My life is beautiful. So that's pura vida.
Pura vida. Well, pura vida means everything.
There is a lot of life in the country, and that is pure, and that is pura vida.
Pura vida mae.
Pura vida means everything. everything. It's a way of life. Yeah.
Pura vida means that we are happy.
Apart from the natural beauty of the country, its important role in sustainable agricultural innovation and renewable energy commitment shape Costa Rica into an open-air learning site. The experience of visiting this riveting country enriches the mind with new life perspectives of a more simple and responsible world, one that is committed to development without disconnecting from nature and forgetting what is important in life, its people and environment. Certainly, everyone who visits this small country encrusted in Central America, between the Caribbean islands and the Pacific Ocean, will be fascinated and enjoy their stay. From top-notch ecotourism to beach sports, you can find everything your heart desires there. After a few days in this little piece of paradise, it is difficult not to feel positive about life and its possibilities. Possibilities of connecting to nature again, of respecting and nurturing it. Possibilities of leading healthy, happy, sustainable lives. Pura vida.